Let me give you a quick example about the maritime law, the law of water, the law of the sea. Money is water by law. So when a ship, this is why all ships are female by law. All ships, rocket ship, sailing ship, airship, it doesn't matter. If it's a ship, it's female.
Right.
Because the captain always refers to his ship as she.
Right.
She's a good ship, or she's done this. Why she? Because she delivers the product.
Right, the
Without
vessel.
she, there is no product, right?
It's a vessel. It's a whole,
Of course it is a vessel. So is your body. It's a vessel that produces a product.
Right.
So when the ship pulls into harbor, it stops, and where it parks is called its berth. It's berthing a ship, or she sits in her berth. And every item on that ship, coming out that ship, is money. It's money changing hands.
Right.
It came in on water. So it's called. So every piece has to have what is called a certificate of manifest, because she is sitting in her berth. That's why when you were born,
I had a birth
your mother's water broke. You were inside a container of water. Her water broke, and you came out, and therefore you have to have a birth certificate.
Wow.
There, and it's got to be signed by the dock, because that's where the ship is sitting. Because the dock is where the ship sits.
It's funny.
So once you begin to see how the words and terms are all based on maritime admiralty, the law of water, the cash flow, the liquid asset.
But is that just in English, the dock, the water?
Yeah, of course. But of course, it goes all the way back to the English or British domination of the seas.
Oh.
And so when the British began to dominate the seas, the Knights Templar Masonic Order of the Knights Templars, who have been in the middle of Asia, came back into Western Eastern Europe, brought all of these concepts, and it was developed into a commercial system of words and terms and symbols which are used in courts and government and corporations. You know, your body is a corporation. No, that's a whole story. We could talk for hours on this, but your body is a corporation.
Of cells, you mean?
No. It's called, by law, your body, your physical body is a corporation. And so when you die, you're a corpse. Because when you're living, you're a corporation. You are a business. And hanging out with that person is bad business.
Right.
Or who I hang out with is none of your business.
Right.
Because your body is a business.
Wow.
And so you say, well, you know, what you're doing with her or him is bad business.
Right.
But of course, if you get married and she's very wealthy, you say she's of good stock, right? Words and terms are based on maritime admiralty, the law of water. And so that's why when you go into a court, you have a fence and a gate. The people sit out here, and the judge sits inside. The gate is called a floodgate. When you go through the canal, you have a floodgate.
Right.
So when you're sitting out here, you're in the law of the land. The judge has no control or no jurisdiction over the people sitting out here. No jurisdiction whatsoever.
Right, because they're outside the gate.
That's outside the gate.
Right.
That's on land.
Right.
But when you walk past that gate, now you're in hot water. And someone's going to have to bail you out.
Bail, yeah.
Okay.
Bail. Did you write a book about all these men?
No. I've just been studying it for 48 years.
Wow.
But it's fascinating because when you understand that the whole subject is so large, and it would take hours and I'd have to go back to square one and walk through all the words and terms that are used in law and courts and in commerce.
Yeah.
For you to understand how pervasive this concept of water is on the earth.
Wow.
The law of water, maritime admiralty, it's an extraordinary story about how governments rule the world. And unless you understand this, you're never going to figure out what's going on. Look at it. When you walk into a courtroom and they call your name, you get up and you put your hand on the gate, and you open the gate. The moment you put your hand on the gate, by international law, you of your own volition have opened yourself up to maritime admiralty law, because you were on the law of the land. As long as you don't touch that gate and go through it, you haven't opened the floodgate. Now, once you open the floodgate, there's a piece of wood on top of that gate, and it's called the bar, and you're not licensed to pass the bar. So what you've done is you've opened the floodgate, but you weren't licensed to pass the bar.
So what does that mean?
So that means that you are dead. You are now dead. Once you touch that, you are dead.
Because you're no longer in control of
That's
your...
right.
of
You are
your-
dead. Well, you're considered to be a dead man. That's
Because?
why the attorney has to speak for you. He has to
But
represent
why
you.
are you dead? Because
you went into the deep water and you died. You drowned.
Because you weren't licensed. Because you weren't.
Right. You were not licensed to pass the bar. And the bar represents a sandbar in the ocean. But the bar is what the attorneys are licensed to pass, but you're not. So the point being is that when you open that gate of your own volition, you are considered by law to be a dead man.
Really?
That's why you cannot talk to the judge, because dead people don't talk to judges. So you need an attorney who is your mouthpiece. He speaks for you because you're dead.
Well, should we do away with courts so people can get their lives back?
I would think that what you want to do is understand how the system works.
Oh, and avoid it.
Then that words are spells. Once you understand that, you'll be able to digest this a little bit more. And it's very important to learn this because, like I say, these are some of the grassroots things that people need to learn, especially if you just become to be a woken person. And you know what I mean? Like, you want to eat up this small stuff first and then it'll start coming to you. Now, let's get into it. Words are spells. Like I tell you all the time, that's why they call it spelling. The first thing they teach you in school is how to spell, how to write, how to read. Because without you knowing those things, they can't put these spells on you. Like if you didn't know what beautiful means, you wouldn't be able to identify that word with the feeling. That's why you got person, place, or thing, nouns. All this shit is so simple, like once you start breaking it down. So if a person, place, a thing, that's a word, then you know that word is related to a person, place, or thing. So if I say, hey, beautiful, how you doing? I just spoke words out my mouth that you can identify, understand, and it changes your frequency. That's how the magic happens. Without me even saying the word magic, I want to get into that next. I'm going to show you how magic and spells and words and all this shit run together. Now, listen now. Very simple. That's why they call it spelling. You get what I'm saying? And like I say, when you say a bad word, which don't necessarily have to be a curse word, oh, I just gave it up. Damn. But anyway, when you say a bad word, what they call it? A cursed word. Bitch, fuck, go to hell. But it don't necessarily have to be those type of words. It can also be stupid, silly, ignorant. It could be other harsh words that has an energy or a vibration behind it. This is why all words have energy, because a person can say something to you and uplift you, or they can say something to you and bring you down. And you have to understand. Just because you haven't seen it in this light doesn't mean it don't exist.
Mr. Emoto's work provides factual evidence that human vibrational energy, thoughts, words, ideas, and music affect the molecular structure of water.
Something that simple that you probably never thought of. This is why people say be careful of the words you say out your mouth, because once you speak the word, you basically birth the feeling. So if you say, damn man, I don't think I could do that, you just birth the feeling that you can't do it. Let me tell you something. The word grammar comes from the word grimoire, right? You probably heard this in Harry Potter and a lot of other movies. And I'm going to get into that too. I'm going to show you just how these motherfuckers in Hollywood know and understand what be going on. But anyway, the word grammar comes from the Latin word grimoire, and that basically means book of spells. The word grammar comes from book of spells. That's the definition of it. With the Latin word, the original word. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something too. Chants are like spells. When you chant, something like you're doing music, it's ritual too. You see people dancing around the fire and the candles and they chanting stuff. You're conjuring. It's like your baby daddy. Your baby daddy got a spell on you. You can't leave him alone. And it's not like, you know, like with movies, they put magic and spells on fucking steroids. Like I say, it ain't no wave of wand and some magical shit. No. All it is vibrations that's coming out your mouth that changes your frequency. Very simple. So if they taught you this, they wouldn't be able to use it on you. Like I'm trying to teach you. So your baby dad can put a spell on you. Your baby mom can put a spell on you. Your old lady, your wife, your husband, whoever. These are forms of spells because a person can say something to you and change your whole frequency. I can greet you and say, man, what's up, fuck nigga? You'll be like, damn, man. Or if I greet you, boy, what's up, king? What's up, God? Same thing with a female. If I say, what's up, queen? She feel good me addressing her. That's why when you see people from other countries, when they address each other, they may kiss each other on the cheek. Let's get back to it. You ever thought about why they call alcohol spirits? If you look up the Latin word for alcohol, right? And basically, alcohol basically means body eating spirit, because you're altering your spirit. You ain't the same person you are. So if you came to me at 2 o'clock in the morning, not 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the day, and you are you're consciously you. If I gave you anything to alter your conscience, meaning you're not you no more, now I'm fucking with your spirit. And that's where drugs come in at. That's where alcohol come in at. That's why they call it spirits, because it's altering your consciousness. Some people drink so much that they wake up, don't know what the hell happened. Or they get into an accident, kill somebody, all kind of shit. Just because the substance or the alcohol or anything that you're taking is altering your consciousness.
The word spelling and spell not only relates to writing letters out to form words. A magic spell and spelling with magic was the original purpose of words according to Tehuti thought. To spell is to cast magic energy with a definite purpose. Rite and writing is significant as well, for it contains the word rite, R-I-T-E, as in ceremony or ritual. This word is usually related to secret traditions utilized to assist one in living magically. Also, the word right is the same sound as right, R-I-G-H-T. Right angles are 90 degrees, a square. This 90, or number 9, speaking in numerology, is found in all sacred geometric angles in some form or another. The word itself has two other phonetic relatives in this conversation, world and whirl. The word makes the world. The whirl or spiral is the common natural geometry of the world as observed in the golden mean, Fibonacci sequence, celestial movements, and the spiraling galactic patterns. Word also is similar to the word wood. A log is a bulky mass of wood. And logos means word in Greek. In the Bible, book of John, it says, in the beginning was the word, or logos. The word was with God, and the word was God. The word lodge, as in Masonic lodge, comes from the word logos. This is the only place the magic secret word can be uttered. Considering Jesus, who is called the Word of God, was said to be a carpenter who splits wood, may be relevant to this view as well. A letter is like a streamer or acceptance, or one who lets or accepts and allows. Letter says surrender and let her, letting the infinite intelligence flow. Letters form words or worlds with whirling chakric energy. Letter is made up of let, allow, and ter, earth or terra.
But investigators had identified that Warren was in the Netherlands. They informed the Dutch, and they asked the Dutch if they would be prepared to commence a target operation against Warren. They agreed and got the authorization to tap their telephones.
The Dutch thought that they were listening to a foreign language. It certainly wasn't Dutch, and it certainly wasn't English in their mind. Just to listen to a Scouser, I mean, I have difficulty listening to Scousers. And so they heard a conversation, well, I'll see it at the cafe by us. So they thought the name of the cafe was By Us. When it's by us, you know, by near me. You've got the intelligence team, and they spend hours and hours looking for a cafe that doesn't exist. Also, they were struggling because they couldn't understand backslang.
What is backslang?
Something that's developed by school kids in the yard. And it's basically breaking down a word, and you add letters to it. So my name is Steve. In backslang, it'd be Stagiv, or Stabiv, or Stagiv.
How would you say, my name is Steve, and I used to be in the police force?
My name again is Stabiv. I was in the Paragos.
No, I didn't get that at all.
No?
No.
They could hear in conversation gliders. So they thought that the Enterprise were going to use gliders to bring the drugs into the UK. And it's actually, they're backslanging guilders. I think that they were a month into it before they said, well, I give up. Don't know what they're saying. Haven't got a clue. I was at home, I had a week's vacation decorating the front room, and I had a phone call to say, on Sunday you're flying to Holland. And that's the first I knew about it. I was picked because I can speak backslang.
Man cub, please go to sleep. Please go to sleep. Sleep, little man cub. Rest in peace. Sleep.
Look, there's no use arguing anymore. No more talk till the morning.
He won't be here in the morning.
No, yes, he will. Car! Hold it!
What wouldst thou know, my queen?
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest one of all?
Famed is thy beauty, Majesty. But hold, a lovely maid I see. Rags cannot hide her gentle grace. Alas, she is more fair than thee.
Alas for her. Reveal her name.
Lips red as the rose, hair black as ebony, skin white as snow.
Snow White.